finally back with my tutorial on how to do a braid out, or actually how I do my braid out. So this is what it looks like when it's finished being loosed out and everything, and you can style it up any way you want to. For me, I just did a flat twist, like some sense to the top here, and then I pinned it down with some bobby pins. And to make it look a little bit more elegant, I put on my jewelry earrings, which I so adore. I wish I'd gotten these sooner. They're just a little bit of purple, a dark purple, and it has like a not a purple and a gold and a pink at the bottom, and then it's just like a clear little stone here also, which hangs, which is really good. If you guys would like to purchase this, I'll put the jewelry link at the bottom, and first time customers, you get 50% off using the code video, which will also be somewhere here and also down below in the description bar, and you guys can go ahead and click the link to sign up. Then I just left the front of my hair hanging in front of my face, and then I basically covered the back of my part so it wouldn't show. And to maintain my braid out to last more than a week, well, a week, I don't usually wear it more than a week, I'll re-braid it. And if you're wondering how I go do that, my braid usually is because I did a lot of braids. I'm not going to sit and re-braid my hair in all those braids I did before. I'll just grab my hair, and mainly where the first piece is, where the part is, I'm going to braid that in a flat braid, just coming like two, if you want to call it French braids. And I'm just going to braid all this coming on one side and one big braid over here, and then the same thing with this one, starting from the root of my hair the same way I did it from the beginning, but just two big braids. And then I'll just before I do that, I'll usually add a little bit of moisturizer and some hair serum, or whichever you prefer, if it's oil, and then I'll then start the braiding, and then leave that overnight, get it the next day and loose it out, and it's still gonna be as curly as this. Obviously, as the time go, you're starting to lose some of the curl patterns, but this is how it looks like up close. As you can tell, it looks like my hair is like, if I had natural textured hair, this is how the curls would look, because they came out really good. And in my opinion, the best time to do a braid out is when your hair is either damp or wet. There's people who you can wear like a braid out if your hair is dry. You can do a dry braid out. I'll do another video on that if you guys would like to see it. So I'm back with my braid out tutorial. My hair is not wet, like it's about 70% wet, which is actually how I like it, because I don't want to be going to bed with a full wet head, if you guys know what I mean. So before I get started, I'm going to show you guys really quick everything that I'll be using. I'm going to be adding my Cantu Shea Butter Leave-In Cream first. Then I'm going to add a little bit of moisturizer for every braid I do, and some serum. This is almost done, but that's what we'll be using. So I'm actually going to do this in not really sections, but what I'm going to do is basically select how I want my braid to fall. Now usually I would have done it with where I didn't have any bangs, but I want my bangs still to be out. I'm actually going to make sure that my bangs are part really neat, and I'm just going to clip this out the way. And I'm not going to braid my bangs or anything like that. So usually I would have leave the part if I'm not doing a braid out, but I actually don't want that part. I'm going to actually change it up a little bit and put it on this side. I'm gonna put a side part. Now I'm doing this as gentle as possible because, like I said, my hair is not dry, it's still wet. Like right now all this is wet here, so I want my braid out, at least from how I'm doing it, to fall this way. And for me, whenever I'm doing a braid out, I basically braid my hair the way I want it to lay when I release the braids. And as you guys can tell, my hair is really not knotted because I actually detangled my hair when I was in the shower, and I usually only do that when my hair is like freshly relaxed, in the sense like it's no stress on my new growth if I do a detangle. So this is exactly how I want my braid to fall. Now you want to make sure you have the little elastic bands that you're going to put at the end of your braid. You can either roll your hair up with some rollers at the end, which I'm not sure if I'm going to do, but when I do loose it out, if it looks a little bit different, I'm going to explain to you guys if I do that. But I'm just going to get down to the basics. So the first things first, I've got my part. So before we continue, let me get my Cantu Shea butter, and I'm just gonna apply a tad bit of that, about this much, to one section of my hair first, because I'm not using a lot of product, because I'm obviously going to be adding a moisturizer to my hair also, which would be my regular hair moisturizer. And that's about it. And now you can either detangle, which I don't think is necessary because I'll detangle each braid before I do it. Okay, so now I'm going to actually take about this much, because I want this braid to lay forward towards my face, in the sense that when I release it, this is layering my face. So like, usually you don't have to do it like this straight, but I'm just showing you guys like basically how I go about doing my sections. So this braid is gonna lay like that, and the rest of my hair I'm just gonna clip out the way for now. So let's get to braiding. Braiding is simple. You just do it like if you do three big pieces of hair, you're just gonna grab the same amount. So before we do that, let's add a little bit of moisturizer to this braid, because you want to have a moisturized braid when you release it. You don't want to have a greasy braid, but you want the hair to be moisturized. So going to apply a little bit of moisturizer to my hair, and I'm going to take a little bit of my serum, because I want some slippage when I'm doing this. Not a lot, like I said, you don't want a greasy braid, so any excess just rub it off anywhere else on your hair. Okay, I hope that's a good enough angle shot for you guys to see what I'm doing. So now you're gonna grab 3 sections of pieces of hair. This one is actually a really small section because that's like the front of my hair, and you're basically crisscrossing them under each other the same way you would a regular braid that is not like a flat braid. But the difference is, as you go, you're pulling the braid so it lays down. And I'm just gonna continue doing this as I go. This section looks really small, but I'm just doing it to show you guys basically how I go about doing a braid out. As you can tell, my hair is still wet because it looks a lot like fragile as I'm doing this, which when you're doing a braid out, always remember, especially if you're doing it on wet hair, to be extremely cautious and careful with your hair, because when your hair is wet, that's when it's the most fragile and it'll break easily. So as you can tell, I've got the braid down. I'm just going to detangle the rest of my hair at the bottom. Put the band out to the end of my hair because that's a lot of braiding, and I just don't feel like doing that tonight, at least. So I'm going to try this again. Hopefully no problem. So okay, as you can tell, this one is not the perfect part, and I don't really care for that, so I'm just gonna section again my fingers to grab as much this way. And now I'm going to clip my hair up again. Just be gentle when you're clipping up your hair, because like I said, your hair is wet, especially if you're doing it how I'm doing it. You want to be careful. Okay, on to the next sections of my hair. This part is where I just choose like how I'll style it up. And when I say how I'll style it up, basically the main part for me and having like a really like my braid out look a certain way is the front. When I say the front, like I wanted to have like a va-va voom look. So the rest of my hair, I just basically don't cornrow it. I just basically do regular braids. So because these two are braided how I want my braid out to lay, I'm going to just do my hair like this. Not actually part it in a half like that. I'm just going to section it top and bottom, because like I said, it just goes with the flow of how I'm feeling. So I'm going to section this off, nothing too crazy, and I'm going to clip the top part of the way first. Yes, this first half, and then I'm going to braid just regular braids at the bottom. So on to this section of my hair now. Here I'm going to also do the same thing, but I'm going to part this in two sections using my fingers. It's not going to be neat because I just go with the flow. I only showed you guys the first two part neat because I wanted to show you how I basically get like that wave in front of my face. And some people achieve it without having to do it my way. I just do it this way because I notice it works for me. So we're going to work with this section first. I'm just going to detangle. As you can tell, I don't have no rhyme or reason how I do anything when it comes to my braid outs. I just follow basically how I'm feeling. So I'm going to take about this much moisturizer because I'm going to moisturize this section. And this section compared to the section I did at the bottom has more hair. So I'm just going to do it like this, and then I'm going to add my hair serum. Now I'm going to section this into about 3 sections because I want my braid out to have like really tight curls at the top here. These are going to cover over the big loose ones that I did at the bottom. So this first section I'm going to braid now. I'm just going to take my denim brush and run it through. I want to make sure I have no knots. Okay guys, so I finished braiding all my hair. I'm going to show you guys the ends. I actually did not braid none of my hair down to the ends. I left it out, especially the back part. You can see it more. Like I said, what I'm actually going to do is tomorrow, before I actually record me loosening it down and all that, I'm going to take my rollers and just roll it up on my heated rollers. Just roll the ends up and just roll it up each single braid and leave it for like a few seconds. The rollers are not going to damage my hair because I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but I'll put a picture to show you guys what rollers I'll be using. And what I'm going to do next, because this is how I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to take this. I usually use the black one, but for some reason I can't seem to find that, so I'm going to use this. But first, before I actually do that, I'm going to take my hair like this and clip it up, because whenever I'm trying to tie my hair up, I always get a problem. So seeing like an extra piece of hair, I don't know what that's about, but it was not a part of my bangs. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to tie my hair down with leaving my bangs falling out. But I'm going to show you guys what I do with my bangs, because tomorrow my bangs are going to get a nice flat iron or something. I'm not sure yet, or a roller, I don't know yet. So I'm going to tie this. That's why I clipped my hair the way, because usually trying to tie it with my hair hanging loose gives me a hell of a time. So this is tied. I'm not going to tie it too tight because I don't want to wake up tomorrow with a headache. Now, as you can tell, this is how my bangs are right now. I'm just going to take, usually what I do, just take my bangs and I take a hair clip and I just clip it out of the way. I'm trying to get it under the scarf and I just hold it like that. And this, you can either clip it up and go to bed. I don't do that. I usually just take my hair up like this and I put on my nightcap, which would be this, and that's how I go to bed. But I'll see you guys tomorrow when I loose my braid outs down and show you guys the results and basically how my hair looks, if it's way down or it's, you know, more vibrant, just up the way how I do it. And I hope that you guys will basically get an understanding of how I did everything in this video. I'm trying my best not to make it too long, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay guys, so I'm back. So this is what my braid out looks like. Now you can either leave it like this, or you can, if you want to have to achieve the big braid out look that I usually do, I'm gonna show you guys what I do. But guys, remember I said I was gonna keep the part that I had here, So now what we're gonna start doing, let me show you guys before I do that. This is what each braid looks like. I don't know if you can tell from the side, but this is how it looks. And what I'm gonna do now is cover the parts. So I have like a part at the back here. I gotta cover that up. So what we're gonna do, first things first, I'm gonna section my hair in half because I don't want it to, when I start like, you know, separating it, it starts separating in at half down the way. I want to separate like falling back. So I'm gonna start like loosen my hair up, and when you're doing this, you can either use some hair serum or some oil. I'm gonna use hair serum. I'm just gonna keep adding it, and as I go, I'm gonna take my fingers and separate the curls, and as I do that, I'm rubbing my scalp, basically mainly to cover any part that my hair may have created when I did this. And you don't have to like loose it all crazy. I just usually grab it and pull a few strands apart. So I'm going to continue doing this process throughout my whole head, and if you want, you can finger comb it like I'm doing now. Usually I'll take a bigger wide tooth comb and do it. As you can tell, look at the difference from here and over here. See? So this is what I usually do to achieve that like big voluminous braid out look that a lot of you have been requesting so many times. I just never had the chance to actually sit in front of the camera and do it, or most likely it's either my hair is past the time of where I don't want to braid it no more. So this is what the bottom looks like, and now that's it. So you guys can stay to the end for pictures, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I know this was a highly requested videos, and of course you don't have to do the bangs. I just like my bangs. They're actually growing out a little bit, so I'm just gonna snip it some more. And that's it for my video. Until my next video, talk to you guys later. Bye.